Hey, everybody. What's up? Welcome back to Thursday night show. Mad Lab technicality. Yeah, I'm not even sure I can say that on the internet. Yeah, this is a heck of a party, but Diddy wasn't invited, that's for sure. So, yeah, I will do a little bit of a roll call and then catch you up. Cool projects, man, happening a lot, just more on the same ones. But I mean, I've just been fabbing up like crazy lately. And I got some much needed sanding done on everything. So repaint, sanding, filling, repainting, like really everything's at wet sand territory now. I redid. We'll just go ahead and get into it because I want to work on it. Actually, I stopped working on it to do the show, so let's keep on working on it. So let's do roll call. It's easy to fix it. StreamYard's in the house. Oh, Jeff and Laura, Alabama, Mike Bird, Philip Cockrum, Mountain RC, Dad's in the house. A lot of the Wrightsa. Honey Chuck, what's happening? That's it. About 4 of you, 5 of you, and 11 all in total lingering. Whatever. JCB. Thursday is always pretty okay. Friday, one day left in the week. Yeah. And I've been jamming on some of these vehicles. Okay, so first of all, Tremor's truck. You can't tell because you're not here. I have sanded it. The top is smooth. The hood is super smooth. Yeah, I've done a lot of sanding. So anywhere on these things where there's been most of it's really good, and you get to a part in the way it's laid out that it's obvious it's 3D printed. So one of those parts on this one, for instance, is right here across the top. Well, it's been sanded and filled with joint compound and sanded or wet sanded, whatever. So things are very smooth. And you can hear it. I don't know if you can hear how rough that is. And then how smooth that is. So there's a ton of texture that was on here that I've knocked down. It's pretty good. And even when I'm not doing my wet sanding, I'm sanding with super fine grit, 220, 180 kind of stuff anyway. So it's not too bad. But I got to tell you, one of the most exciting things that has happened over the last little bit on the Tremor's truck, I don't know if you guys will notice. I'm going to ask you guys if you'll notice. And no, it's not a color change. Anybody? Nope, not rear bumpers. Man, the fenders were huge. They were out to here, and now they're not. And um, they're basically double walled. I figured out how to cut them and keep the um, edge that I want to not just be perfectly flat. One of these is shorter than the other one though, which is bugging me to death right now. I can sand it out, but it must have always been one was bigger. The way I mark for transfer measurements, but bro, those stuck out. I cut off that much on both sides. So yeah, and I really started getting it figured out. I bet I left my template in the garage. This doesn't look like much now. This chunk of foam, but it is actually part of. Anyway, so this has all been sanded down, and the fenders are way more appropriately sized. They were way bigger before, and it just bugged me, and it just bugged me to death. So yeah, and then you can see right here on the top of these rails how where the lines really presented themselves. Well, it's been filled. You can see the lines, but they're not there because I've filled and sanded. So those are going to paint up super nice. I mean, an eighth of an inch on the fender, dude. It is bugging me to death, though. I got to be honest with you. I can make it better. I can do it. I just got to sand it. That's it. Maybe. I don't know if I want to do it either. But dang it, it's so bloody close. From here, it's perfect. Depends how you measure it, I guess. That is so bloody weird. That is so weird to me. What am I talking about? It's fine. I don't even know what I'm talking about. That measure is fine. If it's not, I don't know why. That is fine. These are the same distance. It must be the light, the shadow. This is really shaping up. So the template is in the garage, but I have got the bumper started. This deck plate that goes. So this foam is a little thicker than I need, but so I also have to cut it back. See these gaps here? I got to cut the angle back, and this is designed to slide all the way in. So that'll be all the way in. And then like a 1/4 inch of the thickness of this goes away because it matches here. I've been studying this truck on Tremors movie and clips. This chunk is like half of that piece. It's like 5/8. And so this gets cut down to 5/8, and that's what the margin is. It's going to look good. So this will be cut. You won't see. I mean, legit, dude. Is there a pencil in my ear? I was working on this and was late. The pencil's in the garage. So, yeah, that's what this ugly, crazy thrift side thing looks like. Is this. And I'm pretty. I gotta cut that angle, just cause, man, it's too good not to. There's the pencil, and it's like, basically splits this chunk. You can kind of see, yeah, it's going to split that chunk. And then my deck diamond plate, that's how I'm going to do it. And get the shape all right, and then skin it with the diamond plate. Pretty pumped about it. All right, I'm cutting this. We're playing. Might as well cut myself in front of everybody, you know. I can sand and form and get this all dialed in before I skin it. I got one project I think I only showed you parts of last time. And then the Willie's wagon, just sanded up and filled, but looking good. Looking good. What's up, Richard Hensley, JCB? Anybody I've missed? And we'll get to the Basecamp later. We're on show number 6 of that. So we're getting there. I'm going to get to a point with that Basecamp where it's time to modify the way I mount things, like shocks. Dude, I can't wait to show you this other thing I've been working on. If you guys watch my Instagram stories, you saw it today. You saw it if you were looking. So I just want to tighten this up. I'm not going to slice the big slice, but I'm so glad to redo those bumpers, dude, and double wall them, skinned them, so it's double thick now. But this one project kind of came at me by surprise. I was looking for a different international truck. I still got to do my wood here, and the green, it was wood. I wanted to get these painted today. I was gluing them on this evening. And then any gaps, which aren't many, is getting basically caulked. Let's see, did I get closer? I did get closer, but not close enough. That's all right, because we can fake. We just slide it up and fake it for now. I really don't want to fake it, though. What do I need? Another, this is easy. So get it on the line, Clementine. Oh my gosh. This is going to be worth the wait. Just bear with me. Even this foam, dude. M-Shag in the house. Even this foam is looking tough. All right, where's my line, Clementine? I got the wrong glasses on for trying to see. I'm so glad. I should have took a before picture of the fenders. They just were out of proportion. They just were out of proportion. And now that I've got this foam right, almost right, I can shape it, really good. I'll be able to shape it like a Polaroid picture. Okay, this is easy. So it's on the line. And that one's on the line. Three-eighths. Okay. We'll get it, man. We'll get it. Easy. All right, and this one was what? That quarter. All right. Hey, is there football on today, dudes? It's 3/8 on this. Yep. Richard, what paint on this truck? This, except for the orange, this basically is the paint. Kind of rusty, dirty blue. The orange is not happening for sure, but yeah. Hanging out working on trucks with y'all. As soon as I size this up, I'll show you the other stuff. Yeah, this is a Jeep Gladiator J20, I think from the 60s, and definitely from the movie Tremors. I don't look at their stuff, man. 18th. I like bigger stuff a little bit better. So I don't really generally look at that, but it's I mean, if your tech stuff is nice, but I'm sure it's probably available A main and HRP and a lot of the stuff they have except Freewing and Flightline is available about everywhere. Desert Dan Racing, what's going on? Is that who I think it is? What happened in Vegas stays in Vegas. That's all I'm saying. So we're just working on a form. Mountain RC, what's up? We're just working on this. Looks crazy, but it's gonna be it's about it's twice as tall as it needs to be. What's up, man? It's twice as tall as it needs to be right now, but we are working on the very super custom Tremors truck from the movie Tremors, otherwise known as Delirium Tremens, is what I like to call it. So this thrift side truck, and there's more bumper bits that'll fill that in. The original truck has a crazy bumper like this. And I am so close right now. I just want to see it snug up, bro. That's it. So let's slice a dice, rope a dope, and slice a slice. And then we'll show you the other projects and get into the Basecamp. And if you want, we can start 3D printing something. If you want to see me share screen and go for that again, we can probably do something like that. Boy, I was pretty close. Man, I wish I had it the right dimension all the way, though. I really. This is pretty right on, except it's too low. Man, just a sliver. Honestly, when you know you're doing a ton of finish work, and like I said, this is getting skinned in metal, I don't have to be so precise, but it doesn't keep me from trying to be. I'll sand it if it's too big. Okay. This is as close to, this is one of the things that on this truck is what makes it so iconic and also so hard to get done. It's kind of ugly, but I love it so much. This Jeep Gladiator J20 situation. So, like I said, there's a lot of shaving to do, and then it's going to get deck plate and painted white, like from the movie. So there's a little bit of shaping to do, but the whole thing is diamond plate, top, sides, the whole thing in the movie is the diamond plate, and that's what I'm going for. So yeah, and then you can see this line I drew on. It's there, basically. It's not straight or anything, but that's it. So this back bologna you're seeing is going to be, that's really where the profile is. Brazen Brett, evening nerds. He says, so yeah, this is way looking. I fixed the fenders because they were too. I knew I was working on this bumper today, and I'm looking at the proportions, and I'm like, man, if I do this in proportion with what I've got on here, it's going to be so huge and big. So like I said, I cut a ton off of these. Dude, I got to see it with the cab on it. Oh, Mountain RC, gas cans, brooms, whatever. Whatever I can make, I'm doing. So this is the ongoing project for getting electrified, and everything is actually not going to be hard at all. It's still solving problems with it. But Dad, get a load of this. Bro, this is as close to the thing as we've been so far. And dude, I said I was making 2. It's going to be a one and only, I think. I'm not sure. Bro, wait till I get that bumper figured out. All I got to do is thin it out now. Get it deck plated. And it's getting there. It is so close. I do want to still kind of lower it a little bit. And that's going to be, I don't know how much work I want to do on the spacers for the leaves, because I'll run out of, it's already out of threads. So without having all thread or different U-bolts, I'm kind of stuck. I don't want to mess with the shackles and stuff. I'm kind of good with that. I have a little opportunity where I could get, this isn't going to be a shelf clean. I'll make a video of it, and then it's going to be at Dad's place. This is for my dad. But I'm so happy with the fenders because they've been bugging me. And I started tracing and templating out the bumper. And I've not been closer. So I'll sand this and form it up better. And then I'm going to do my deck plate deal. Thanks, Brett. Yeah. Are you familiar with that movie, bro? The Tremors movie. But the Tremors truck's that Jeep Gladiator J20 thrift side. Can't find information on it anywhere. There's some BS files out there in 3D print land that are, some of the files, dude, out there are garbage trash. I don't know why they even bother. If it looks like a truck and it's got lines and it's round and stuff, like, all right, cool. But there's some stuff that's so boxy. It's like, dude, this is like, why would you put it out there? They're probably free because they'd have to be. But this next truck I'm going to show you, $22 for the file. And it's one of the nicest looking things I've done so far. Let's show you. But yeah, this is coming. This is getting there. To see the fenders, I still got to deal with the wheelbase. And honestly, because this big chunk of foam, I can't slide the bed in. So don't get it twisted. It's not as bad as it looks. It's just, I can't get it in because I got this big chunk of foam right there. But, bro, to have the profile of the bumper and then to trim down the wide, these fenders were way out. They look like gross. So I am over the moon about the proportions of this right now. Looking so good, sanded down and filled. Come on. It's going to be the bee's knees. All right. This thing I'm going to show you has been awesome fun. Also, this isn't it. But This is also on the back burner, but it's a lot smoother. I've done some filling, there's a few seam lines that are filled and sanded up. I will be doing patinas on these things, but they're not going to be the kind that show the it's a dead giveaway with the lines, right? And so I won't have that on these. I don't want that. So it'll be different kinds of techniques. Hopefully I can get enough paint on there that whatever I decide to do will be topical rather than a lot of patinas I've done have relied on sanding down through layers of paint. If you do that on these, you're going to always, if you go too far, you'll easily expose the lines like that. Even though they're smooth, you see them. So to me, that says let's do a different kind of patina. This son of a gun here, though, holy smokes, man. I'm digging this one a lot. This is a weird truck. Kind of. International Travelall. Found it, sized it up to give me a 13-inch wheelbase like the chassis I've been using lately. And digging it. And you can see this was a silver PLA silk. You can kind of see the waffle that just kind of underlies. But the thing is, it's not there. This has been painted a bunch and filled and sanded. So I wanted to show you guys what it looks like before. Philip, I do all that. I put so many layers of paint on this stuff, it's not even funny. Usually there's 2 or 3 layers of paint on it before I even start sanding or filling. And I just keep going at it. And it's cool. I'll end up okay pretty soon. I'm going to do an experiment on a messed up print I have. I did finally mess one up. I'm going to test something out that might be a really good, super cheap and quick filler. It depends how it holds up. But yeah, so this is it's got red dust on it now, paint. But that was the silver silk PLA from Bamboo. But this, you see texture, but there is none. There is none really to speak of. And what I've done will make it heaps better than straight off the printer. Like, there's a couple seams. Oh yeah, this one's going to get the salt chip style on this one. I'll show you guys that. So I need a lot of paint on it so I don't over scrub into the lines when I do the salt chipping. And there's going to be, I think, 3 layers of paint that I'll have kind of exposed. But it's basically going to be rust, that blue I kind of like that's on the Tremor's truck, and red. So, yeah, but panel truck, and it looks weird now, but when it's all done, you can't see the seams. Not nearly like you would if you left it alone. So this one has an engine bay. This grill, you can print it like this if you want to show off the engine and radiator, which I'll maybe do. or solid where, you wouldn't see in. And honestly, these files, you don't have to have the hood come off. You can print that front clip with the hood on and everything. But I was like, dude, I'll do it. I'll do it. So yeah, this is going to be sick. And you can see that where there's a white line, and I'm using joint compound to fill where you just cannot hide some of the lining. But this is the different sections. You can see where the seams are supposed to be. But dude, the lines on this thing, like, wait till it's all not, super rough like this. And this is super smooth. I've sanded the mess out of it. I'm really pumped about this one. Kenny, CA, I just buy bigger bottles now. Desert Dan, I'm using the Bamboo Studio it's a Bamboo Labs machine. The X1C is what I'm using. It's nice, super nice. I've actually been printing PLA with carbon fiber reinforcement this week because I ran out of my other stuff. It prints a lot higher temp than the regular PLA. I don't know if I like it anymore or not. But Wild Bill, you asked me if I printed this. Bro. Yeah, I did. It came all with that truck. So look at the dash. I mean, what? And this is screwed together, but this was two big pieces, and then the dash was its own print. And then the reason I printed off this baloney plastic chassis that I'll never use for anything else. Look at this baloney fake ass leaf springs and stuff. I printed it off because I may get metal chassis rails made from this shape. And it's nice to have the measurements. I can maybe shop leaf springs that are this far apart or that far apart, like whatever like that. And also, bro, it's all part of this international. And then this, you see the holes on the bottom and the standoffs. You could screw this together. I mean, if you wanted to take it easy, I would never drive on this chassis in a million years. But to have it sitting on the shelf all day long, I mean, it came with the tires. If you decide to print them, I'm not printing those bloody tires. This is good enough. But I still have to fill these. But there's the benches cut out for the trans tunnel already. And I got the steering wheel over there. These have not been finished or sanded or anything. I love the finish though of the carbon fiber PLA, but I don't feel like it's super necessary. And it's actually super brittle. I think if you're going to use it, solid infill, small parts. But let me show you something else cool. So when I first printed, oh, by the way, I told you, that's why I saved this truck for last before the Basecamp build. These bumpers would be hard to find in the aftermarket of the crawlers that we mess with. So I went ahead and printed them. I printed the silver. They're super thick. It'll be fine. If I break it, I'll print another one. You know what I mean? Or just not have them. And then this one is the front. And I have already sanded and filled it. I want you to be able to see these lines. There you go. You see those like concentric lines. you only see them now. They're filled and sanded and prepped. So these bumpers aren't going to scream. Some of the cool things on these things, you can't help but notice, like bumpers and stuff. And like even the shape, like the fillet of this light bucket back here. It's a weird little place to print. So there was some lines. There was some just a little funny. Man, I just finger in that joint compound, dude, and work it, paint the snot out of it, and work it and sand it and paint the snot out of it and fill it again. And those little things like that are important if you want them to be. And so after doing everything I'm going to do, why wouldn't you also dress up the bumpers? So interesting thing, I'm learning so much as this happens. I printed off the interior. It's kind of cool having, and this is that silk silver stuff too, the door cards, right, for the inside. But dude, look how thick it is. It's so chunky. I'm like, gross. It just isn't going to look good on the inside of there. Just too much. So in the software, like you guys have seen me do, instead of printing like this, like I had on the silver ones, I laid it down and cut it and made it super thin. Look how thin that is compared to Thick and Z Gates, baby. That's pretty thick. That is not. So that fits amazingly now in the, it's going to fit really nice in the wall, in the side of the truck. And it fits up against the window just like it would, instead of like standing tall another 3/16 or something. Oh yeah, dude, the thinner ones. Choice. I'm telling you, anything you can think of, you can basically make happen with one of these printers. Yeah, saves weight also. I'll use these for something else, like no big deal. So that's it. I'm compiling bits. I'm pumped about the Tremor's truck and this thing. I want to show you one more cool little fab deal about this as well. So when I finally got all this done and put it together, basically just to look at, I'm like, what the hell with the gaps? It's not a problem, but I don't want them. See those gaps? So I pulled that piece back into the software and cut. Instead of just printing another one out and cutting on it, I'm like, I don't need a whole one. So in the software, I just cut. You could easily make sliders out of this flat bar style material though. But these are just the ends. But I cut them in the software and made me spacers basically to fill this up. And I haven't had a chance. Oh, that's perfect. Oh my gosh, that's going to be great. And what's kind of cool too is if they were too big, you could just cut off this down piece and have it staggered. So there's all kinds of ways you can conceive of attachment methods, whatnot. But anyway, this fills the gaps. And I printed 2 of them. So pretty choice being able to do that. How do you think it would do printing a 1/10 scale roll cage? I mean, I don't think too bad. And I am not a designer. I'm just manipulating files I'm getting and making them work for me. But the real what makes it a print good, possibly one thing, is if you try to do it all in one fell swoop, it's not always good. It's almost like I'm printing these pieces and then assembling. So that's huge. And what kind of finish work would you want to do? And the way it orients also has a lot to do with the strength. So if the roll cage is actually doing something, then you got to make sure it's oriented in the best way for strength. But I really am all cosmetic on this right now. I'm sure there are guys that know better than I do about the potential for strong parts. I know there are guys out there that are. I talked to a guy on the phone the other day who's like printing the whole rig. He's printing roll cage and all. If it's just for scale looks, it's no problem. If you want it to be strong, that's another thing. But yeah, this chassis is complete garbage for looks only. Oh, nice. If you can get the files, it's easy. If you have to design it up yourself, that's the hardest part for me anyway. But yeah, it's doable. If there's a file and you know what size you want stuff. Like I have to pay attention when I'm doing this file stuff that if this had to be scaled, every piece I printed had to be scaled up 115.41 to work together in achieving the 13-inch wheelbase. Dude, check this out. So this isn't going to fit on here right side up. But, oh yeah, lose this fake chassis for a minute. Dude, I think I did this even with this. No. Yeah, I did. This and a red sanding. Now it's red. Sanding sponge. Bro, wait a minute on this. Let's see. We looking good? Hollywood? Not bad. And I never do red anything. But this one is going to be red. I got to slide it back. How did I do this? Oh, yeah, that's fine. That's good. Bro, there's no lift on it right now, but look. You can imagine just a little bit off the. Come on. I mean, that's mean. That is a mean. Dude, I got to see a picture of that, Dan. I'm about to start doing customs, but it's going to be expensive. So don't come at me, bro. I'm being funny. You can come at me. So yeah, dude, these bent seats, the interior, like get out of Dodge, bro. The dash. This is a little bit low rider right now, just to size it up. But check out the wheelbase of it all. And this is on Dad's custom crazy ass wheelbase. The wheelbase isn't crazy, where I put the axles is. So the 13 inches is pretty right on for us lately with what we've been doing. But the Basecamp chassis or my Red Cat chassis is gonna do either this Travelall or the Willys wagon. I'm not sure yet, but we're an hour in. I'm over the moon about this thing, and because it looks cool and I don't want it laying around in pieces, I did think it was a good idea, because otherwise I'll just look at it on this. But I need this because this is the Tremor's truck. So I thought it'd be cool to see what was up and go ahead and print the ridiculous plastic chassis that comes with part of the only $22 files. It is so complete. If you want, I can turn you on to that guy. With these guys who design and have their own files and designs on Cults 3D. I hate the name of it, but it's the best place I found so far. This dude had a ton of designs, and they were presented well. And then when you click in and actually see the real file, they're also very good, like this. There are some I've looked at, and it's like the picture is of a real one, and then you click in and it's like Fisher Price. Like, what in the hell is this? You know? So, I mean, even like super scale this. Be like RC. Fred Barron switched to the Surface channel. Yep. Just glue it on or make it work or whatever. You put the spare bin parts in the bin. You know what I mean? The bumpers are too big to fit. So anyway, yeah. I thought it'd be a good idea to have this chassis in case I wanted to check it out for measurements or clearances, whatever. But all right, Dan. See you later, dude. Yes, sir. I'll be around right here in this room all the live long day. Looking at stuff I can't wait to get my hands on. That's it, man. Appreciate you. Thanks for coming. Yeah. So in the meantime, until I really get electrified and everything like that, the fake ass chassis is pretty okay. I'm over the moon about it. I really, really am. But I told you guys I was going to try a trick for kind of the fill and finish of it all. And I got this print got messed up, and it was actually my fault because I had the machine thinking it was printing something else material wise. And so it's really the only time I ever really spaghetti to print it out. It was my fault. So anyway, I got this piece, and you can see like there's some lining and stuff on here. It's actually worse on here than on most stuff because, again, it was my fault. I told it wrong. But you can see some of the lining there and everything. And especially the way I had it oriented, the back was going to be, a lot of texture. So one thing I'm thinking about trying is Elmer's glue and water mixed, so it's not super, super thick. and I want to see what it does. And I'll try it on a piece like this. If it peels off like a skin, well, forget about it. If I need to just sand it a little bit and do it, I want to be able to sand it. I want to be able to sand the glue. But I'm thinking that may not be a bad idea. And also urethane, which I have a ton of, might be good also. Something I can sand. But you're gonna expose the lining when you sand the high spots, without a doubt. So to eliminate how many passes I got to go back at it, I think is a cool idea. You can use the UV resin from a resin type printer to apply to the surface, then sand back. Is it a thin kind of thing that'll feel good? Nice. I'll check it out. I'm getting there with drywall mud, but there's got to be a better way, maybe. But I'm tickled about it. I'm absolutely pumped about it. I need to get RC 4-wheel drive send me a couple long wheelbase chassis, trail finders or something. Brett, bro, me and my buddy we got a handful of us keep printing these super scale trucks. We put them on, we buy these FMS things. The FMS 1.6 Jimny comes leaf sprung already. The drywall mud will pop off. I thought so too. Yeah, I thought it probably would too. That's all right. This patina stuff I'm doing, I'm fine with it. And it's a learning process. I don't have it on real thick, but I assume it still will. Even if you seal it up good. If it's flexing, why wouldn't it? Yeah. But man, we keep printing off these super scale trucks, and we're either doing these cheap Jimny leaf sprung chassis on them because we want leaf springs. Or we're using like coilover, regular old like Basecamp builds or whatever like that. And the Basecamp builds, like my Land Rover behind me, it's fantastic. But of course, I'd have cut the floor to death. And it's like, I'm okay with not reinventing the wheel, but I need some bits, and I got to figure out how to design this stuff. But I want to okay. And we'll get to it when I do it on this Basecamp build. We're getting close to that kind of stuff. I'll probably stop because I want to figure out spreading out the shock towers with some kind of spacer, bigger cross member. I don't care, whatever, something. So, man, and maybe shortening them as well. So the coilovers can hide in the wheel well. And I don't have to cut the whole floor out of the back end of the truck per se. You know what I mean? And of course, the Basecamp build, the transmission and motor is in a bad spot for the scale rigs. We know we're going to have to cut the floor there. But with that FMS Jimny, it's not awful. The motor's up here. Their transmission is ridiculous. Are you familiar with it? It's just a little tiny extra length to the can. And so it's all contained. So the motor and trans is all right there. Goes to the transfer case. Pretty easy. The FMS Jimny chassis. The axles come on the other side of the leaf, so there's no lift at all. But then when you flip it, it's too much. But you can't really trim down the spacers because you don't have enough thread on the U-bolts. A lot of little things, man, make it doable, but also like, come on, man. Goofy also. So there's a little bit of wiggle room, and I've done some moving shackles and I slid this whole thing up to work for the lay down shocks can work for some builds. Yeah. But I desire a chassis that can do, of course, I want one that can do it all. That's got enough modularity to it where you could throw these towers on it and run coilover, or you can, that's what I'm telling you, Brett. Or, I mean, me and Kelly and Kirk and Sean are building a ton of these. We keep building these 3D printed trucks, and we keep buying these stinking Jimny things and not using anything out of it to get the chassis. Because if you buy a boom racing kit, not every time do you want to put together a Land Rover. And they're spendy, man. I mean, they're good. And then what's that GMS thing? Matt just did a build on that Canadian square body, and that chassis, I forget what it's called, a lot of letters. I don't think it's probably not very complete and stuff, but it's cool. And it's like 19 inches long because they know you're going to cut on it. So we want a chassis where we don't have to cut the shit out of our interiors. We can run leafs on it or coilovers. And there's either spacers to get you in, even the Boom Racing kit, their stuff looks amazing. They didn't space out the shocks enough to get them into the wheel wells. And so here you got these fake wheel wells in there. And then ones they had to come even more interior with to accommodate the way the shock tower stuff works. And it's like, of all people, right? I feel like why wouldn't you space? You don't have to bend the chassis crazy to go wide. I mean, you can, I guess. But I mean, I'm thinking flat rail, make it easy to do. It doesn't have to be C channel. If it's flat rail, it's probably even more modular, a lot of screw-on bits potentially. If it's C channel bits and bosses, fine. But like movable leaf spring mounts, be nice. I really want to figure out how to cut the trusses off of the Basecamp straight axle and use those for a leaf deal. But I'm afraid what you might lose when you do it, when you cut all the trusses off. I like the Basecamp. It's killer. The build is nice because you don't have to, my Rover doesn't have, I don't even want portals anymore. Yeah, basically I need a no guy. Anyway, so that's it. And we pull all the leaves out and it is what it is. Yeah, really flat chassis. With this Tremor's truck, because it's on this Jimny's deal, and of course this is messing it up right now. But it's a little too high. But that's the suspension. It's a little bit, yes, also the chassis. It's got this extra little bump up here. It'd be nice just to come up and then straight back. But it works out where I worked it out, where I don't have to cut this bed at all. I'm going to have to do some stuff. Not too bad. Like I have the Fordyce interior is actually what's in the Tremor's truck. I figure Fordyce, I mean, come on, it's a Jeep truck, Willys, whatever. So I printed off the Fordyce. I sized it different, but I printed off the Fordyce deal. And it fits pretty good in here. It's so black you can't hardly see it, but it's gonna hide everything. You know, everything's got room. Transfer case won't be in the way. I may have to mess with the firewall just a little bit for the motor, but the FMS motor thing, though, bro, is I've taken them apart and put fusions on them. They're not bad at all. For cheesy, man, I can get with it, and that's it. And yeah, put a fusion on there, no problem. But that transmission is just like that big. It's only this long. $35 without the slipper and cup. But that also means you can basically stretch this out however long you want to get to the transfer case if necessary as well. There's a ton of little in there, but it's not too bad to mess with it. I put nice stuff. I put we're all keeping these FMS transmissions, but throwing fusions on it, and that's what's in our FJ. And I got that Michigan, and I did the leaf spring kits on those. But the Jimny, it looks good, but it sucks. But it's a leaf. It was $369. They're selling them for less than $200 now. They're calling it 6 scale, so it's giving us this like 13-inch wheelbase and a leaf sprung chassis out the box. Take the bodies off, take the stuff out, and we're making this stuff. Scale rails for the trails. Let's go. Let's go. Dude, you saw the red travel all. I printed off the garbage chassis from the files just because I hope maybe I'll need that in the future to as a reference to make stuff off of. All right. That's the projects that have me really super entertained. And this Basecamp build thing we're doing because when I started doing the dedicated surface show, I didn't know what else to do. I will use the Basecamp chassis though for one of these things, but I'm kind of stuck on the Leafs. For sure, though, the Willys wagon, who I'm modeling after the Fab Rats, dude. They've got a Willys wagon right now that's like full built, coilovers and stuff. That one's going to be on either the Red Cat 13-incher or the Basecamp we're working on right now, because it's fine to be coilovers. But I definitely kind of really want leaf springs on this travel all. And I tell you what, while we're at it real quick, because I'm cheap like that, this is a Trailfinder 2 long wheelbase RC 4-wheel drive chassis that I'm not taking anything off of. But I want to see that body on there. I think the wheelbase will be fine. It may not be quite wide enough. Always drop the hoods. Yeah, it's not quite right. Not quite right. I mean, you can make it so. Especially with a highly modular, scale-minded, purpose-built chassis, scale but still performs. I'm able to make this stuff perform plenty fine for me. Anyway, this is a Trailfinder 2 chassis. It's not quite enough. The width is fine. This already does have extensions on it because that FJ55 came with, I think it's 12 millimeter extensions. So you could make this work, but it doesn't now. Carolina squat, that joint. Okay. This was a heck of a Lexan build, actually, to be honest. Yeah, that's cow print fabric on the seats. Of course, omitted most of the leaves on this. This is okay. Honestly, I would run this a lot more if I put the rubber mirrors on. I hate that I used plastic hard mirrors on this because I would run it even more. There's a theme with me. I like the box back stuff, but if I can get the scale rails, I'll do open truck bed business. Scale rails and trails for sales. All right, yo. Let's see what we got going on with the Basecamp. It's real metal, that deck plate. I think that's killer. Let's see. Now you can print more mirrors. Yeah, but it's going to be a deal to change those because the interior, dude, all those lights and weird reflect, like all that stuff, man, has to come out to get to the mirror. So I don't want to break them. There's another, it's like two, that's a Lexan body and a Lexan interior, and what's holding that stuff all together is the mirrors and the doorknobs and the other little bits about it with it. All right, where did we leave off? To be continued, as they say. We're doing like links on chassis now. We started doing, we were here on this. It's taking me way too long because I talk about the other stuff too much, but that's okay. The other stuff's got me jacked. Oh, my bad. A little Loctite on the paper. This really is getting to be where I'm not sure. I want to, I'm starting to get to the point where I don't know if I want to put stuff where they're telling me to put stuff, is what I'm getting at. I have got myself crowded on this huge ass table. Also, all right, so this is where we finished this. And we're at the shock tower and panhard kind of stuff. Servo for steering. Chassis rails, bumper bits. We are so getting into stuff I wish was different. I need a bunch of long screws. This is where I want to be changing stuff. You'll see what I mean. I'll just go ahead and do it. I mean, honestly, I would like to have a floor in stuff like this Willie's wagon and spread out the shock towers a little bit or something. But the box back makes it easy to hide that stuff too. So yeah, that's the deal. You guys want to see that extra camera deal? Let me clean up a little bit and then we'll do it. Cardboard aided drafting. This has been perfect. Cardstock that came in between the here's the carbon fiber trees. The finish is nice, just kind of brittle. Adjust later. Yeah, just build the thing the way it comes right now. That's what I'm thinking. And also it's a good baseline because it's going to give you the starting point. So you get the wood on the tailgate for the Tremor's truck is probably going to be made out of a urethane stir stick. Yep. Probably. Brushes. We got a lot of stuff going on right here, dudes. It's been a whirlwind up in here. Why do they even put that in a case? I know why. So the tape doesn't get goofy on the sides. Kelly gave me some magnet mount files. He gives me all kinds of awesome stuff. All right. Dude, I apologize even. I didn't get a chance to clean up, dude, today. I usually set this up beforehand. But I was going hard on that truck. I'm just not afraid. I'm just afraid I'm not going to find any of my bits, my drivers today. I just already know. That's a 3. I got these little plastic trees everywhere. Oh my gosh. It's because I'm printing all the time now. All the time. Okay, there's that. Here's this high-tech situation. Gotta find my bits. Though. I'm so bad. You gotta be kidding me. This may not be going down, to be honest with you. I'm such a piece of trash. I don't have them. Did I take them racing with me? I bet I did. Got it. Greener shade, what's going on? All right, we're going to send myself an invitation. Oh, that's trash. And go from there. Let's get it. Okay. Send myself an invitation. Hour and a half in to the show. Email. Join me on StreamYard. R.A. Ramsey. Guy. Everybody's favorite part, seeing me turn screws. Let's go. I still want to build another kit after this on the show. If you guys like the building the kits, or just stay with the fab and the bodies up, I don't know what to do. I'm just doing what I do. Ryan Ramsey sent me a text message, email. Here's your link. This is where, keep doing it just like this, Wild Bill says, kind of, sort of. This is where I will mute. Yeah, that's Sunday. We'll maybe do an ARF on Sunday. I don't know, man. Enter studio. Whoa. Stop. All right, I'm not going to mute it yet. Back camera. Always. Keep building the kits. Yeah, cool. I think so too. I want to do that, bro. Anybody follow Boom Racing? Everything they have is Land Rover and it's cool, but they got a truck. And I don't know if it's leaf sprung or not, but I'm into it. That's all I know. That's all I know. So this is, we're going to, is it muted now? No. Here's what we've got to do. Okay, now can you hear me at all? This was better when it was like this. Yeah. Now it's okay, isn't it? Bro. Fine. That's okay, I think. I think that works. Yeah. All right. F5. Let's go. We've already done everything else. Transmission, axles, shocks. Screws from the last time. And my little screw jig. Brian Chambers, what's up? So you guys hear me now, right? No weird feedback or nothing, right? There's some bits here. And that's G1. We're in F5, F6. We're going to be in the chassis rails soon. Okay. Battery business, skid plates. I don't know if I'm going to need them this time. That's for the back. the servo thing. Pan hard. And that right there. Okay, so a little inventory. Let Horizon tell me I need to spend $50 now. I don't understand. There's this. I can grab the servo and mount it too, I guess. All right, that and this. It's not that one. It's this one. And that. The linkage. This. Servo arm. Little silicone plug. I'm missing one little tiny thing, and it's this. That. I don't know what. This is a garbage FMS servo, so forget that, bro. Let me get a better servo. Let's do it. I think that's the one we're going to go with. All right, sourcing the screws. Little reefs action on this one, as long as it fits. And everything, and like such as. Let's go ahead and see if the metal arms fit on here. Man, that's on there pretty good. All right. What is it, 23 or 25? The reefs. It's hilarious, huh, M-Shack? I haven't done it yet. The sound systems. It must be a 25. It's a 25. Right on. Brian Chambers. What's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. I wonder if... Yeah. All right, cool. So now we're going to source the screws. Let's do that. We're going to get the screws. I got this little dude here, which is super handy. I need... a bunch. It's nice to do this stuff and just stay set up, I bet. But I pack it up every time. These are going to be the servo screws, more than likely. And they're 10 millimeters. Yep. Servo screws. Big flat deals. And then it wants me to have one tapered 8 millimeter, which is probably this. With a taper. What do you measure? The whole screw? That's too long. The taper doesn't count, does it? Yeah, I think I was right the first time. Okay, cool. And then I need one 10 millimeter one of these. That's a 12. That's a 10. One of those. And a 14. This is too long. $14. And this 10. If that's a frickin' 10. That's a 10. All right, cool. Okay. Now you just got to figure out how they've oriented it. And it looks like this. And sometimes you have to look at the next picture to know where to actually put it. But it's this one is where it goes. Bro, is this servo too big? Son of a gun. That sucks. So that's going to be... It doesn't matter. I'll make it work. I don't want to cut that thing. That's all right. We'll do this little thing first. Right here. It goes like this. And that's the 115. Which is this 10 millimeter. And it's going to be a 2. All right. And my 2 is right here. I suppose I could put that servo wherever, but if you do that, then you're screwing up some of the pan-hard business. Yep, nope. And we're going to just cut this son of a gun out of my way, I think is what we're going to do right now. It's not doing much. That's a lot more to cut on that side. Yep, just cut it. I cut the wrong one. I cut the wrong one. What a dummy. I'm not going to have any cross members in there for servos. That's okay, because I don't do anything but the steering anyway. Love the DeWalt. It's awesome. Mike Kennedy hooked that one up for me, man. I should have cut this before I put that little thing on. Okay, now the arm goes away, the gear post is this way, and we ought to be able to fit now. Enough. Yeah, I think we'll be okay. And I'm not going to torque it all the way, because I may need to not be torqued all the way. Weather some of the scale bits for the CJ7. I still want to figure out the doors and the roof for my Bronco. I'm not going to tighten it all the way till the other side's in too. There's so much I can do this winter to dress up this stuff. I'm pretty pumped about it. So this is still, there we go. That's good enough. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is the first time I think I'm using a reef servo. It is. Which means this rig's going to be for real. Whatever it ends up being. And that's cool, because these bodies I'm making are heavy-ish compared to Lexan. Wrong way, homie. All right, cool. Servo, finally, 1 hour later. It goes like this. I don't think I really need the servo arm yet. But it's got to be this little machine jobber right here. We're not even sure if it's centered. Is that a taper? It is. Ah, I see it. It's this one. 1185. 1185 right there, tapered. And this is metal on metal, like they show thread lock in the book. But I will probably be once I plug it in, I'll find out what neutral is, so I'll do it then. No reason to do it now if you're going to take it out. Okay, and then we have this bit there and this little panhard situation. And it basically just reinforces this. Isn't that right? Yep. So that fits on there to stiffen this up. So this is there. The 118 little tiny dude is what happens for that. Wild Bill, I totally did, and I'm gonna have to myself. I'm gonna figure out those chrome bits too. And then this link, there's the boss for it, so you know it's gonna come in the other way. So here's, and sometimes, like I say, you got to look at the next picture. So the links go this way, right there, with the 109, which is a 14 millimeter. This, I did, Wild Bill, I did see that. I've been watching everything on that Willie's wagon truck they're doing. It looks, bro, I have the same wheels too and rims. Basically what you see my Tremor truck sitting on right now is what's going to be on my Willie's wagon. The Tremor's truck will be actually the same tires, because the Bajas I have that are actually super from the movie, they're just too big. But I'll put another set of those BFGs on this for the Tremor's truck. And now I have screws to do my this. I got screws and wing nuts, so my beadlock clamps are going to be good to go. All right, so this dude. Okay. So that is that first part of the page done. So the next thing I'm doing is pulling out like chassis rail kind of stuff. And we're getting this front bumper bit, we got that. We have this one because it's for the motor probably somehow. We have this piece. This one's got to be coming soon. Another one of those. Was I supposed to put that on both sides? No. That's for like another servo. Yeah. Definitely don't need that. Those are for the other servos. Body post thing. This is going to be probably for the back. Man, they're showing skid plate stuff. All right. Chassis rail business. Yep. And I really don't ever try to get ahead of myself on this stuff because, man, they know what they're doing. So we're cooking with gas right now, y'all. All right, cool. There's the other one. Okay, there's this. Let's sort the screws. Okay, 14 millimeter one of those. Nailed it. 2 12 millimeter ones of those. One. Two. 1 10 millimeter one of those. Getting kind of crazy. I'm guessing it's this one. 10. 16. Too big. 16. Right there. And then a little 8. That's it. Okay. This stuff gets pretty interesting here. So we got this dude. There's a little boss, a key that it fits right. There's no really other way. That goes there. But it starts to get tricky because a few things come together at one time. So that goes there. And yeah. Okay. The 1185 is the little one in the front right there. I should have done the other one first, though, because it will actually hold stuff together. Cannot see sometimes. Okay, I got it started that time. I'm not going to go all the way yet. Then this one is this is tricky though. Maybe I should sync this. Yeah, I'm going to sync it. Everybody okay there? I don't see any comments. I know there's only 15 of you, but. Now, this sandwiches this. Right there. Few things in one spot. And it's the 110, this big dude here. There can only be one Highlander. Yep, that is it. It can't be it. You know why? It is, but I'm not ready for it. Because the servo deal goes there. My bad. This goes there. Right. Like so. Actually and factually. Tricky. Yeah, this is the one I remember being a little tricky. Not awful, just tricky. That feels pretty good right there. You kind of heard it click, like it set down. Not quite. We might as well, I guess. There we got it. Boss that baby in. Got it. Perfect. It takes a minute, man, but it's worth it kind of stuff for sure. But what is happening? There. Get in there. Okay, so we did that one, but we didn't do the 7/8. The 7/8 is this one. Thanks, Philip. All right, we're getting them snug now. And there's enough to do. You see why you don't want to get ahead of yourself. We should have. The 4/6 right here. There's two of those. That's this one there. I don't know why that seems weird, though. Why does that seem weird? Well, I'll tell you what. Hell or high water, it's going in, though. Ha! That's for sure. Yeah, it really starts coming together, at a point. We're cooking with gas at this point. So the next thing they're showing me is two things. So this dude here, they want the 46. That screw right there goes here. Right there. And they're showing they got one screw left, and it's for this. There's a slot right there in the C channel for this dude. Can you guys hear me? I didn't mute the mic. For that, goes right in there. So, and then that little dude right there, that's what's left. You zap it here. We'll go ahead and do this side rails for now. We'll just build it the way till I change my mind. We're just going to make it like this. Says to. Okay, that whole page is done. Everything's good here. Yeah. Starting to look like something. Okay. Let's see what they want me to do over here. So we'll just transplant those bits. Okay, now they're talking about the rear rest of the chassis rail. And honestly, they should have. I didn't need this on yet, but I just did it the way it said. Okay, so the other chassis rail, half, is this one. So we'll lay these parts out. So there's this here, and then we got this shock tower. This one's pretty easy. This chunk, this dude here. I'm gonna talk about this a lot though on my way, because this is where I think things get where I wish they were different. That's not that. There it is. This little piece right here. Oh, it's not bad. These diagrams are really good, to be honest. Really good. So we got our bits. Now we're going to just simply pull these screws, which is, I like doing it now. You see what kind of head of screw it is, and then it's a 10 millimeter. So that's going to be, that's probably a 12. Yep, that's a 12. So's that. I need a 10. Where's Waldo, bro? That's an 8. This part gets annoying sometimes. This ain't it. 14. All right, well, whatever. So we need a 12, one of these. 2 of them. This is a 14. Yep. 2 14s, 2 12s. Okay, where's that 10? M310. It may be in another bag. It happens. I think it happened last time too. I don't think it's a huge deal either. F2. Yeah. None of those are it. Shoot. I think I just used sometimes seeing where they want it to go helps. Yeah, in there. That's a 10, huh? Maybe it is this. Yeah, Tail Heavy. What's up? Thursday night, man. That's an 8. I knew it. Stuff I'm doing anyway. I'm like, and that's a 12. Where's the bloody 10? Eight. Y'all make me want to lose my mind up in here. I saw your post or video about Ben doing school and just a little tiny bit less content, but nothing to worry about. Keep it good instead of forcing it. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yo, man. I know that I don't have to have a 10 millimeter for what they're talking about, but I want it. I want it. I put no, just heads in there. That's it. That's another 8, isn't it? Son of a gun. It is. So this is some of the screws left over from stuff like such as actually the last Basecamp build. There's a 10. Thank the Lord. I'm not even kidding. Like, for real. Thank you so much. I don't have OCD or nothing, but I want what it asks for. Do you know what I'm saying? All right. Now, when you're building these things and you have a floor in it, this piece will piss you off because it's somewhat over flush right here anyway. Not the end of the world, but I've cut floors out because of it. All right. Tail Heavy in the house, man. But these cross members, I mean, they're necessary. It doesn't have to be these ones, though. I think as long as you get the job done, it doesn't matter what it is. This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about making, fabbing up different than it is to achieve the setup for what I'm making. Yeah, I'm doing this truck thing on Thursdays because I'm doing enough of it that I don't want to kill everybody with it on Sunday. So that's why. And then it's going to be right here. So this is one of those areas. So you can imagine now the chassis rail is here. This is a shock tower that I'm putting on right there. And then, of course, the other chassis rail's here in the shock tower. It's narrow, but you really have way out here that you could go with these shock towers before you're into the wheel wells or the tires with the shocks getting in the way. So it's like, I want this some gun out this far. Not a big deal. Spacers, just think it out. But we're doing with what we have now, but that's what I'm talking about. So the 46 is right here. .46. With my handful of kids and their activities, it does get harder to get out and fly. So this stuff satiates that desire, so to say. 78. It's a long one. In between those opportunities, this looks symmetrical. But the hole's on top. There we go. And this goes here, right there. Come on. Seven, 8. This, why wouldn't this also be a 7, 8? It probably is. I mean, as they come, though, and on a regular old coilover, these are fantastic. I just see some opportunities for custom builds, spacing the stuff out. And then this dude is the 46, the 12 millimeter right there. Once again, used up all the screws. This isn't like IKEA. Nothing's left. Come on. There we go. This is week 6. And if I didn't talk so much about the 3D printing projects, I think we'd be done. All right, let's see what this page is. And I'm a little bit curious. What the next one is. More of the same, it looks like. For the build and the truck show, this is 6. So the long links go to the back. And there's a little boss right there and there. And they're showing this first hole. This is actually another, if you wanted to cheat, you can cheat wheelbases a little bit here with some of this. Now they're showing the screws, but it's not time because, let's see, by the way, 2 12 millimeters. That's going to be one of those and one of those. Perfect. But no. So that goes there. And then obviously this first hole has to catch right there. So the second hole is where the boss is. And then that is the other hole where this stuff is going to sandwich in right like this. And it's tricky. All the lights in front of me. So I work on the dark side of the moon. Everything is shade over here until I get the drill going. But yeah, look how it's coming together, dudes. And I'm committed. I said I'd do a Basecamp build. We're doing a Basecamp build. Nice. Dudes, I mean, all of a sudden it gets to being like coming together. We are actually really getting somewhere with this. It's going to be great to have another, because I will not take apart my nice finished up, almost finished up. It just needs windows and like the floor. But it's a drivable Land Rover that's on a Basecamp build as well. And I don't want to take it apart to size up bodies. So having another kind of one of these dudes sitting around ready to rock. I mean, guys, we're getting into it, right? We are getting there. I mean, I'm turning the page. Let's see what's next. I mean, I kind of want the other side on at a point. I want a better stopping point. We've been at 2.5 hours. You guys are stuck with me because I'm doing it. Kelly's went to California today. We'll get him back on. Man, Kirk's got he's got a garage like diorama done. Looking killer. I love it when it all works out. This is the second one of these I've built. I've built a Vanquish. and I've built a trail finder too. What are we gonna build next? So what's interesting to me is, like, I don't know if you see this, but like, didn't I just do that? What are they talking about right there? What the hell is that? I did it. It's in. They're just showing you another way to hook it up. Because they show this, but they don't show the skid plate. So what are we doing? We're not even into the skid plate yet, according to y'all. It gets, sometimes you just gotta think for yourself, I guess. And think what they're trying to tell you. So they're showing me the back side right here. I don't know if it means anything, except if it's just showing you how to line it up, which I already did. The last page told me. So so that's servo, and that's this, but this is the back. Fine, let's just do the back then. No. Yeah. Because the back is the smaller chassis. It goes piece of rail. It goes on before. They've got me all messed up right now, dog. That's the front, dummy. This is what I'm talking about. Again, there's the boss. It goes right there. That one's bigger, goes over the top. There's also a skid plate, though. They're not showing right now. So we're just going to do, we already know, we got to do another shock tower. And unless they sent two of the same side, that's this. So there's that. This bumper bracket business goes back here like this. You gotta get some of these bits in, or you'll wish you did. So we'll get this. It's gonna go like that. So we gotta source some screws again. 8 millimeters. Is this? I need 2 of them. Two of those. 110. I already know we can't find a 10. I don't know what they're talking about, dude. 12 millimeter, one of these. Need 2. And a 14. Need 2. What's this? It's a 12. Ah. 14. Certainly. Yeah. But the elusive 10, once again, what's this? This is going to be a bloody 12. Yep. That's all right. I'll dig in the box. So first thing's going to be, let's do the 114 is a little 8mm. That's the bumper bits for both sides of that. And this one goes in the other side. Right there. Don't over tighten because there's not, it is what it is. Okay. So now we're to the shock tower, and these hold all this stuff in a little bit. And those are the 4.6s, which is the 12s. All right, boss. See you later, man. A lot of times I won't go all the way until they're both started. Seems like a good idea. And now into those 7/8 is the 14mm, which is the other side of this support. And these are tapers, and we already pulled them. Little 14mm. Again, I don't want to get it all the way. I did this last time too, where it moves itself and then it's there in its own way. But you guys see what I mean about, like, this is the shock tower brackets, super close to the chassis rails, and 115, that's that 10mm is supposed to go right there, which I mean, it's the kind of thing that'll turn up when you're finished, you know. I could have used it by mistake before. It's not super crucial, but man, I want, and if it's not a 10, fine. I just don't want to use up any of these. I think I got a 10 though. I do. Don't know why, but I do. So this is a 10 for this little situation. Yeah, Fred, I need to do some of that too. Just buy some bulk. I really want some long screws for some of this stuff that I'm wanting to do. And tubes so I can make some spacers. All right, so that page is done. Okay, now it makes sense. Now we're talking about the other one of these. Cool. You cannot hardly get it wrong. I mean, look how sick this is. Got that extra little boss there that's going to pin into the front hole. Those two holes, boom. There's going to be a shock tower involved as well. But it looks like the first thing they have you doing is the side rail business. And we already know this goes here. I mean, it's just what it is. They're not having us screw anything yet or anything like that, but we know that's right. Just like we know this is going to be right. Yep. There, click it. Get in there. A little slidey slide right here. This dude has a spot it slides into right there. All right, Wild Bill, see you later. And we're just going to go ahead and sink it. 116, 12 millimeter. That's got to be these. Oh, yeah. Yes. We're going to have this. Yeah, Wild Bill, thanks, man. We're getting over the hump where the stuff that looks like it's going to trip you up or take a while really starts coming along. I'll be so glad to have these links hooked up to axles. I'll tell you what, some of y'all may just have to watch this later. I'm a little bit grooving right now, if I'm being honest. 114 is an 8. I just want to get to a good stopping point. So I think we're close. All right. I guarantee you they're showing me this now. I was right. So now we're really about to a stopping point too. The other shop tower and the brace is there. Shop tower and this dude here is it. It's like 5 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10, 2 10 millimeters. And 3 12s. That's a 10. Those are easy to find. This is probably a 12. Yep. 3 of these. 3. One more 10. Right there. That's it. So the 4 6 is the 12s. And that's going to be shop tower, which is this right there. And this goes here without. Okay, cool. 4 6 is the 12s. Where's the other 4 6? Aha. Not bad. I need to play with the way I'm printing the layers on that clear stuff, and go for, I think it's monotronic. To try to keep it clear better. Let's not go all the way until we get this dude. All right, and then that son of a gun takes 2 of the 8.5s. Yep. Later, Wild Bill. These little brackets here for the body, the hidden body post mounts are, if they end up in the way, they can be removed, but they are so slick to hide things with that it is worth it to have them. All right, I'm not going all the way because it's a little goofy. If I do, there'll be too much tension on it. There. All right, Axel, see ya. I think you can see why a guy likes this. I would sit in some of the Zoom calls and put the last one together. And then that last screw right there goes, it's this right here. Dude, we have a chassis. Lassie. All right, now we can make sure, cinch it up. It's tight now.
Yeah, all this stuff for winches. It's like, golly. For other servos, I mean, there's a place for a servo right there as well. How many do you need? Always fun to be building. Guys, that is shafts. Let's see. What are they talking about next? What are we getting into next time? Yeah, there's no reason to be doing that transmission until you got it's transmission and axles, though. I mean, that is legit what they're talking about now. 1185, 10 millimeters. Hold on a minute, man. Hold on a minute, man. It's like 4 screws. Why not? 1, 2. Don't give me this stuff, though, bro. 10 and 10. Transmission up from the bottom, dude. And that's, you can't get it wrong. That it's, see the bosses there on it? This is how it goes. I mean, without a doubt. You see it right there in the honeycomb. We're just going to do it, man. I don't give a rip. We'll get it done. Focus. Man, the light sucks. There it is. Once you got it, you got it. You kind of need that part. Fine, I'll just do one first. You couldn't be magnetic for me, you son of a gun. It's a nice kit, though, for not a lot. Yeah, you guys got to remember, I had a full cup of coffee at 9 o'clock at night. So it's midnight, and I stay up till 2 like every night anyway. So I'm kind of all right. And if I didn't commit to doing this show business, this son of a gun I'd have done it already. All right, transmission's in it. And then we'll save this axle and link hooking up business till next time. So I'm going to pack up these screws, call it close. Yeah. Otherwise, I'll be up till 4. If I start messing with these axles and junk, it's okay. There's 7 dudes in the room. We'll save the axles. Anybody who didn't make it this week's going to be like, whoa, when they check it out. I had a bag I was putting screws in. Didn't I? Didn't I? Certainly. I'll do it in this one. Yeah. Guys, this is what's under the Land Rover. I mean, this is what it is. It's really a good kit. Especially, I mean, that servo is going to be stupid. And then good power system. Yeah. And these, I didn't need any. I don't think I used any of these that came in the F2 bag. But they look specific, like really long ones that I haven't used yet and might need. So whatever. That's kind of why I kept them out here separate. Didn't mix them in with the other screws. F2. I mean, how did I not need these? Good question, brother man. So get all these bits in the box. So that bag, I know I had a rubber band I saw today. It was with the chassis rails. I love keeping that stuff around. Where'd I put it, man? Right there. Link and axles and shocks. I mean, dude, the drive shafts are nothing, but you got to have the axles to do them. The links are a little tricky. The shocks, I'll do my trick where I put them a little bit lower than normal than they ask for. All right, so 2 bags. This thing. I found that rubber band and I lost it already. Dude, what's wrong with you? Seriously, I just had it. I was so stoked I had the rubber band. I used it, dumbass, on the little bag. Okay, little tiny bits. Stuff I'm probably not going to need. Receiver box. I don't submerge these things really anymore. I have rigs that I would do that with, but it's really the only time I've ever had to fix them was after I did something like that, like a component or something. It's been after I abused it. They can get wet, but you can't be surprised when you kill things that way, though, either. And I knew I dropped one of these. earlier. This won't fit in the box anymore, so that's cool. I get a look at it. So there we go. That's that, man. I gotta plug this in. This is dying. Sorry. And then we'll wrap this stuff off. Solo.
Boom. Stop it. Don't. Kick this dude from the studio. That's what we're doing. Get out. I don't need a ban yet. We'll just kick myself. Later. Plug this in a minute. I had no idea I was so out. The juice. Cutting loose from the noose. Okay. Book. All right, man. I spent a lot of time on my 3D printed little bodies. But what cool stuff that is, right? I mean, that's been going very well. And this, super close. And the motor lays in here. Why, though? Why can't it be here? Who needs this cover if I can put the motor there? I want you guys to, I mean, look at, there's 6 of you. So what? So if you this case almost is a problem for the seat on something like this. Now, I do that every time. Now, on something like this, it's not a problem because there's nothing, there's no floor at all yet. But this, if I build this like I did my Rover, you can see how skinny this chassis is. And the shock towers, you know, are on these chassis rails, but I have all this space from here to there where they could be. And if I did that, I wouldn't have to mess the floor up. And, you know, you definitely are messing up the floor. I mean, look where this kind of lies. If you're lucky, you can hide it in a bench or something. This stuff, kind of the dash. If the motor's here, it's totally in the floor, not really a seat. But if the motor's there, it's in the dash a little. I mean, I'm not going to go nuts, so that's what I always say. But that's the kind of challenges you're looking at. And then you can see there's the skid plates. So, I mean, that's if you ask me, the skid plate being under flush is about the job. You know, it's okay if it's even with it, but I don't want it hanging down at all. So tucked up a little bit, sitting as low as possible is pretty cool. Tire width will fit most of that in. They'll be hanging out a little bit, which means there's even more room to take those shock towers over to where the bloody wheel wells should be. But that's a whole bunch of spacing out and stretching out though. This. Super skinny. Needs to be this kind of deal. So that's why I hope to end up smart enough someday to make the stuff I want. I can make it happen with tools, screws and bolts and spacers, but it would be slick to just screw them on. Okay, 6 of you. Love you. Appreciate it. 3-hour deal. That's enough. And it's a long one. My eyes start to go after a minute is what happens too. All right, y'all. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Check out my Instagram stories. Post a little bit of what we're doing with some of these trucks. You can keep up, and hopefully I can get out and fly something. But this has been pretty sick as well. So thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in 5. Hanger rats forever. 3 later. You're too good to be forgotten. We'll see you next time. The chassis width. Bye. Boom.